Pausing in video games. Pretty cool, right? In a few games, you can't even pause at all. Now, in an online multiplayer game, yeah, that makes sense. But if it's a single player game, well, that's fucking stupid. These games suck ass anyways. A few people are apparently anti-pausing, even when playing in a single player offline mode. These people are foolish, dumb as hell, lobotomized. There's no debate to be had here. Shut the hell up. Some of those people don't even like video games. They just like to argue. Now, as someone who does like video games, here's what I'm wondering. When you pause the game, should there still be background music? It's a great question that no one is currently asking. So of course I asked my community in a purposely limited opinion poll, and after 6,900 nice votes, about 79% of voters want some musical pause jams, while 21% say, nah man, turn that shit off. So what's the real verdict? After spending the past 1,500 hours of my life researching this, by opening up a bunch of games I already own, hit the pause button, and see what happens. I've arrived at everyone's favorite conclusion. It depends. Complete silence. This one is pretty common. If it's a simple menu, or if pausing just freezes the gameplay so you can pause the game to go take a dump, or pause the game to go grab a snack, or pause the game to eat a snack while taking a dump. Hang on, I'm getting a phone call. I'll answer that later. What was I saying? Some games just turn the music off. It's quiet, you know, it's nice. Yeah, you often see this type of pausing in games with simple menus, fast-paced action games, and in games on older consoles. You pause the game on the NES and even the sprites disappear. Yo ass ain't playing nothing. I mean, yeah, you know, if you try to play Excitebike and you get a phone call from your girl telling you forgot to pick up her kid from soccer practice, then yeah, shut that game up. Deborah, what do you mean? Of course it was your turn. You know Thursday afternoons is my Excitebike time. The more modern cousin of this type of pause OST is when the music volume goes very dim, which brings us to our next category, quieter music or calmer music. Some games turn the volume down a little bit. This makes sense, especially if you're scrolling through menus. It helps you focus if you gotta think about what you're looking for, or find in the settings where you can invert your Y-axis, or find what item you're equipping. Like in Nier Automata, I had to replay this game to get the footage because when you beat this game, it deletes all your save files because this game's a scam. Anyways, you pause the game here and the music is quieter so you can focus. While you accidentally remove your operating system and get a game over. Whoopsies. Or some games will have the pause music be like a chiller version of the song playing, with fewer instruments, and I think it's really cool how they made two versions of a lot of the songs. From a sound engineering perspective, I wonder if they have each instrument on its own track, or if they have the two versions start at the same time and crossfade between them. That's how I would do it. And along the same lines, some games got that ambiance. You can be in the middle of combat, about to get your ass whooped, then pause and swap over to special ambient, chill lo-fi beats to relax and upgrade your skill tree to. You know, it's all about that atmosphere. Like the pause music in Grand Theft Auto 4's The Ballad of Gay Tony is like a, hey, chill out. Sure, you're about to shoot up the whole town, then reload your save, but hey, take it easy. You know what I'm saying? Atmosphere. One question you gotta ask yourself is, why is the player even pausing the game in the first place? Sometimes it's accessing something in the menu. Other times it's to do something entirely outside of the game. Do you really want the game music blaring at full volume? If you gotta take a quick phone call from your ex-wife telling you to pick up your kid from soccer practice, even though you secretly know that ain't even your kid. Yeah, I said it. No change to music. Some games don't even change the music at all. They just keep that jazz blaring at maximum power, which makes sense too, honestly. If you got the game's composer, sometimes composers, putting hundreds and thousands of hours of their life into the soundtrack, plus when it's live music, you got all the musicians put their entire instrument tussing in that recording of the soundtrack for the game about to cut, boy. Hell yeah, keep that music pumping. Get your money's worth. Cuphead doesn't actually do that though. In games where you're doing a lot of short pausing, like bringing up a menu to swap your equipment or look at the map to fast travel, you do not want the regular gameplay songs to be constantly interrupted by something else. It would get annoying to cut to another song for 3 seconds, then swap back. It's like when you're on a road trip and passenger princess in shotgun is playing chat roulette with their iPod and keeps switching to a new song every 15 seconds. I hate that shit. Let the song play out, god damn it. That's how it all started. You know, if you need the game to be quiet for a little bit without turning the game all the way off, you can always pull up the home menu on the console or hit the mute button on the TV. But come on, press one button to pause the game and then press more buttons to turn the volume down? That's too many buttons. Yeah, I called Maury. I got a DNA test. I am not the father. You've been sleeping around with Alejandro again, ain't you? Games usually keep the music playing when it's like a small menu or pop-up menu on a phone, like in Animal Crossing. You're always pulling up your inventory to count your fruit, or pulling up your Nook phone to check on your daily achievements. Well, here it turns the volume down a little bit, ignore that. Or trying to redecorate your house, since you will not be needing that double bed anymore. We could have had a home together if you hadn't spent Jaquarion's college fund on limited edition Funko Pops. Unique song. And a few games, the pause music is a wholly unique song. Top 10 pause songs, in no particular order. Number 1, GoldenEye 64. Playing this song might get me a copyright claim. This song plays when you pause and look at your spy watch. Kinda recently, this song became a trend online because it was somehow ahead of the times and behind the times. It's playing a cool synth and xylophone cover of that classic James Bond theme. Makes you wanna get up and shimmy. Number 2, Battletoads. This is the original pause jam, even though it's a 2-measure loop. In an age where other games of its time were swapping to complete silence, Battletoads made the bold decision of, hey, let's play a groovy beat while the player considers if they actually want to retry this fuck-ass speeder bike level for the 100th time in a row. Has anyone ever gotten past this? Is it even worth it? Never mind, it's worth it. Number 3, Hitman 2. This is another one of them cool clock type beats, which makes sense because it's a spy game. You have your magic spy clock, your spy watch. I assume it happens in a lot of spy games. Number 4, Dead Rising 2's jazz R&B mix. Listen to this. This is like a Saturday morning ironing your shirt before you go to a car dealership type of music. This is way too good to be pause menu music. I don't think the music should be so good that people want to stop playing the zombie game and just listen to the groovy pause music instead. Number 5, Bravely Default 1 on the 3DS. This one is called Eternity's Moment. This game's entire soundtrack is a banger, and the pause music is no exception. The overworld theme syncs up with the day-night cycle, so it makes sense to cut to another song when you swap over to the pause menu. And it's this cute little music box theme that's also Airy the Fairy's theme song. She is so helpful and trustworthy. I'm glad she's with us on our journey. Number 6, Pizza Tower's pause music, Leading Dream. This is an absolutely frenetic, chaotic, high-octane game, so it makes sense to cut over to a more chilled track when you're coming up for air for a few seconds before you dive back into this cacophony of gameplay. This one is actually a dishonorable mention, the Wario World of pause music. This is one of the worst songs I've heard in a Nintendo game, but I'm pretty sure that's the point. It's Wario intentionally trolling you for pausing his game in the first place. Number 7, Final Fantasy 1 original Final Fantasy pause music. It's sort of like a waltz theme. I don't actually like this song very much either, in which they had to just use the title theme, the prelude here instead. But you've got to pay respects to the classics. I just change my equipment real quick and get back to the game ASAP. Number 8, Banjo-Kazooie's pause music. If I had to think about what some chilled out Banjo and Kazooie music sounds like, it would be exactly this. Because, well, it's heavy on the banjo. It sounds like you're in the Wild West slowly riding your donkey in a town. I don't know. Number 9, The Legend of Dragoon pause music. This is from a classic PS1 RPG. Those drums, those splashy synths. Now, this song is emblematic of what I like to refer to as 90s PlayStation 1 core. At number 10, Xenoblade Chronicle 3's Iris Network. This game was the whole inspiration for this whole question in this whole video. Every time you bring up the pause menu, it plays this cool song. It's a chill, relaxing piano ambiance track that you'd hear in the lobby of like a futuristic day spa. And it's a shame because the pause music is really good. I do not want to deny that. But you spend a lot of time swapping between the menus and the gameplay in this game. Constantly unlocking classes, unlocking skills, swapping classes, swapping skills, upgrading your Ouroboros DNA Digivolution Fusion skill tree. However, the pause theme interrupts all these beautiful unique area themes. Each place in this game has both one slammin' theme song for daytime and another jammin' theme song for nighttime. But then every time you pause, which is all the time, it swaps to this corporate synergy presentation music. Between the pause music and the battle theme starting up every 15 to 35 feet in this game, I've barely heard any of these area theme songs all the way through in-game. I gotta listen to it on YouTube later. All I'm saying is, none of the other Xenoblade games had this problem. When you're in the pause menus, they would just continue playing the area themes at a lower volume. So for this situation, in Xenoblade 3, I think a pause music toggle in the settings would have been best, and players can just choose what they want to hear. Well, don't you look smug with my woman on your arm. Alejandro. As we can tell from all of these categories, I think what you're doing during pausing has an effect on if the music continues. Just stopping the game for a little bit of time, maybe to do something else real quick, turn the music volume down or completely off. However, if you're going into the menu to do something in-game, like changing your equipment, preparing your spells, checking your stats, you're effectively still playing the game, so there should still be some background music there, be it quieter music, the same music, or a unique song. Maybe we already knew all of this. Maybe this video was a huge waste of everyone's time. Of course, there are exceptions, and of course, there's no rules to game design. Make whatever you think is cool. Pausing is something we take for granted, but it's actually a really nice intentional feature that needs to be added. Do you know how many times in real life I want to be like, hold up, let me take a break right quick. Sure wish I could pause this custody hearing. My ex's lawyer is looking kinda bad though.
A few moments later.
So I've been informed by the judge it is quote unquote not a good look to be flirting with the opposition's counsel. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, then check out my previous video on which Monster Hunter monsters I could beat in a fight. It would be extremely helpful if you could watch that video for me. Comment below with your favorite pause music in video games, and today's common code word is Deborah. Comment Deborah if you made it all the way through the video, and that's it, video's over.